So say goodbye to your spirit token, -3, and a nice -3 right there. And then we can go for a super juicy kick to consult the star charts, and we get to copy that. So get to look 16 cards deep and draw 4. I think we'll take a Floodpits Drowner and yes, a Tylee. And then again, look 8 cards deep. Probably take another Firelord Azula and just another Firelord Azula. It's just Firelord Azula all up in the crib right now. And man, that was a that was a clean game from start to finish. I kind of wish this Tylee wasn't legendary, but this creature is staying tapped down forever as long as we control this creature right here. And then we'll flash in Enduring Curiosity, get to create a token copy of it, smack the opponent for 8 damage right there, and draw 4 cards. So we're up to 7 cards in hand, a super wide board state, and opponent is just in top deck mode with a Unholy Annex / Ritual Chamber. But I mean, your demon never really attack unless you want to get rid of Tylee. But I mean, these other creatures are maybe a little bit more of a problem. Enduring Curiosity also has some recursion. I think if you remove this token copy, we get to, or we don't get to keep it, which is unfortunate. But I mean, we found the Frostcliff Siege. We're down to 8. How did we get so low? I don't know how we got so low, but we can get this one down. Here comes the Frostcliff Siege. Get some prowess. All of our creatures will gain a +1 and trample. And then we go to attack steps. And we get the Firebending 2. Opponent, you have to discard your only card in hand. We'll drop off a land. I guess it should have been the starting town. We get a double card draw right there. And how about a double Heartless Act? We'll go ahead and get rid of that demon right there. Prowess pops off. Get to copy the Heartless Act. So get rid of your construct dude. Hey there, neighbor. Welcome to another MTG Arena Standard video. Today we are playing with Firelord Azula for 4 mana. It's 1 generic and then Grixis colors, so blue, black, and red. We get a legendary Human Noble, 4 power, 4 toughness. She has the Firebending 2 mechanic, so whenever she attacks, we get to add 2 floating mana. It is red mana. And then whenever we cast a spell while Firelord Azula is attacking, we get to copy that spell, and we can choose new targets for the copy. What is so nice about this is it says when you cast a spell, it doesn't just have to be a creature spell or enchantment spell. Any spell that we can cast while Firelord Azula is attacking, we get to make a copy of it. So some of the best copies that you could make, of course, would be the Enduring Curiosity. This creature, you can flash it in, and whenever you deal damage with any of your creatures, you get to draw a card, and for however many creatures deal damage to the opponent, you draw that many cards. This card is super busted, I think, at least. Really, really good card right there. So yeah, I would be able to make 2 copies of that one, which is really, really nice. Another creature that I do want to try, and this pairing doesn't actually work super, super well, is Tylee Chi Blocker. She also has Flash. When Tylee enters, you tap up to 1 target creature that the opponent controls, and it just never untaps for as long as we control Tylee. So, of course, making 2 copies of her, you can tap down 2 creatures that the opponent controls, and they never untap. That would be amazing. It's just, unfortunately, that doesn't work because Tylee is a legendary creature, so the legend rule goes into effect. So you have to choose just one of them to keep. But, I mean, Azula with Tylee. I know we're missing Mei in this deck, but yeah, that is a deadly combo, of course. So yeah, I am trying out Tylee. Another creature we could flash in is Tishana's Tidebinder for 3 mana. Flash this creature in, and when it enters, you can counter up to 1 target activated or triggered ability, and if an ability of an artifact, creature, or planeswalker is countered this way, then that permanent loses all of its abilities for as long as this creature is on the battlefield. And I mean, Tishana's Tidebinder is not legendary, so that is one. We're doubling the creatures we get is really, really nice. It's also just really, really nice because that's 2 creatures entering the battlefield then with Enduring Curiosity and Tishana's Tidebinder, as well as the Floodpits Drowner. a little tiny bit like Ty Lee Chi Blocker. You tap a creature that the opponent controls and then put a stun counter on it, so it does remain tapped for 2 turns, which is pretty nice. And again, if you cast it while Firelord Azula is attacking, you create 2 copies of all these creatures. So then you have 2 bodies on the battlefield. But again, it doesn't say just creature spells. It says any spell you cast, you get to copy it. So then if you go for a Consult the Star Charts, well, you get a double Consult the Star Charts. Heartless Act, instant speed, kill a creature with no counters on it. That's really, really good. And you get to double that effect right there. Same with Nowhere to Run. You can flash this one in and then give a creature -3/-3 and another creature -3/-3. Or if they have a really, really thick body on the battlefield, like a 3/5 or maybe a 6/6, well, then a double Nowhere to Run will be able to answer that right there. Strategic Betrayal, just for a little tiny bit of graveyard hate. The Terminus of Return for a little bit of ramp. And then one thing that is a little bit unfortunate about Firelord Azula is it says whenever she is attacking, and she doesn't have haste, so you do have to wait a turn for her to attack. So to kind of get around that, on turn 4, when we play Azula, we do want her to have haste. So on turn 3, we'll go with the Frostcliff Siege. This one, we're going to be choosing the Teamer version, where creatures we control get +1/+0, and they have trample and haste, which is really, really nice, because then Firelord Azula is 5 power, 4 toughness with trample and haste, so then she can attack right away. You do have to be a little bit careful, because on turn 4, if you cast her on curve, if you played the Frostcliff Siege the turn before, then when Firelord Azula attacks, you'll only have 2 floating red mana, which we can't cast any of our spells with that one, so that doesn't help us out too much, but it could be more for a later game play, where if we have a bunch of mana and a Frostcliff Siege down, and then eventually we do draw Firelord Azula, that could be quite nice. But then another creature that I love this combo with, and I played with it ages ago, and that is Kefka, the Court Mage. For 5 mana, it's 2 generic, and then the Grixis colors again. We get a legendary human wizard, 4 power, 5 toughness. And when Kefka enters, each opponent or each player, so us as well, discards a card, and then we draw a card for each card type discarded this way. So if I choose to discard a land and the opponent chooses to discard a land that is 1 card type, we would draw 1 card. If we choose to drop off a creature and the opponent chooses to drop off a enchantment, that's 2 different card types, we get to draw 2 cards then. And that's when Kefka enters, and that same ability triggers whenever he attacks. So with the Frostcliff Siege, he gets haste, so he enters the battlefield, opponent forced to discard. We're also forced to discard, but then we at least get to draw 1 card. And then when Kefka attacks, again, the opponent has to discard. We also have to discard, but then we get to draw a card. So we don't really lose cards too much. Of course, if we have 1 really important card in our hand and we play Kefka, well, then you do have to discard that 1 really important card. But at least you get to draw a card. And then for 8 mana, you can transform Kefka. I don't think that's too important. But again, with the Frostcliff Siege, he gets +1 and trample. So then he goes up to a 5/5 with haste and trample, which is really, really good. And he makes the opponent discard 2 cards. That is a great combo right there. And then finally, the last creature is actually another version of Azula. It's not Firelord Azula. It is Azula, the Cunning Usurper, for 5 mana. It's 2 generic, and then 1 blue and 2 black pips. So color requirements a little bit tricky. But we get a legendary creature, 4 power, 4 toughness, also with the firebending 2 mechanic. And then when this Azula enters, target opponent exiles a non-token creature that they control, and then they exile a non-land card from their graveyard. And during our turn, we may cast those cards that are exiled with Azula, and we may cast them as though they had flash. So that's maybe like a dream scenario. If we have both of these Azulas down, make the opponent discard, and then we can cast their cards with flash. That would be really, really nice. And the nice thing about that as well is mana of any type can be spent to cast those cards as well. So yeah, that's the Grixis deck we're going with. I'm really excited to be playing these new avatar cards. These are some really, really great characters in the show. I mean, Azula and Ty Lee, really, really great combo. Maybe we should force May in here just to get the deadly trio, but I like this version that I have right here. So without further ado, let's just jump into some games and see how the deck does. All right, guys, we gotta go first. We'll try this hand, starting town. I guess it should have been Watery Grave. That's my bad. 100% my bad, because this one we will tap in just so we can flash in the Floodpits Drowner. Well, I guess we don't need to flash it in right now. We got our own Terminus, which is really nice. Now we can still tap this one in. Next turn we can get down Kefka, actually. And then we'll get some card draw, which will be really nice. We'll flash this guy in, sure. So opponent looking to ramp. Probably ramp into Ugin, I would imagine. But we do have a Kefka coming down. That is pretty nice. He is playing black, though, so definitely be some kill spells. We see red all of a sudden. Interesting. But yeah, here comes Kefka. And I think we'll drop off Ty Lee. No, that does feel kind of bad. Opponent. Yeah, they choose a non-creature. So we got a double card draw right there. And next turn we have the Fire Lord Azula coming down. I like. Does the opponent have any kill spells? Opponent does have 5 mana to work with. Oh, if he paid 2 life, he would have had 6 mana to work with. So no 6 mana spell. The Regalia, that's pretty awesome. All right, yeah, we don't need to spend any mana. 2 mana left over. Could go for a Consult the Star Charts, but that would be nice to do with Azula as well, so... Oh, I guess I should have kept the land, to be honest. We'll drop off a Kefka. Opponent also forced to discard again. He drops off a land, so we got a double card draw right there. And next turn, we'll be able to flash in the Enduring Curiosity and go for a... Maybe not a kicked Consult the Star Charts. What does this one say again? Land. 2, 4, 6 mana to work with. So no Ugin. Unless you have an untapped land. And Ugin is those two. Oh, he gets rid of... oh, we get to choose which creature we get rid of. That's amazing. That is amazing. And a land, so 1 unknown card in hand, 2, 4, it's 5 mana. It's a Ritual Chamber. Ooh, Ty Lee. So we'll actually be able to... So we add 2 mana right there. So we'll have 7 mana to work with, 2, 4, 5. So 3. Yeah, we can get these 2 creatures down. This will be amazing, guys. Check this out. So go ahead and attack. Opponent has no cards to discard, which is a little bit unfortunate, but... we'll go ahead and Firebend. Discard a card. I guess we can drop off 1 Enduring Curiosity. I don't think we need 2 of them. And we draw 1 anyway. All right, here comes Ty Lee. So we get to create a copy of her, but, I mean, she's legendary. That is really unfortunate. I kind of wish this Ty Lee wasn't legendary, but this creature is staying tapped down forever. As long as we control this creature right here, and then we'll flash in Enduring Curiosity, get to create a token copy of it, smack the opponent for 8 damage right there, and draw 4 cards. So we're up to 7 cards in hand, a super wide board state, and opponent is just in top deck mode with a Unholy Annex / Ritual Chamber, but I mean, your demon can never really attack unless you want to get rid of Ty Lee, but I mean, these other creatures are... maybe a little bit more of a problem. Enduring Curiosity also has some recursion. I think if you remove this token copy, we get to... or we don't get to keep it, which is unfortunate. But, I mean, we found the Frostcliff Siege. We're down to 8. How did we get so low? I don't know how we got so low, but we can get this one down. Here comes the Frostcliff Siege. Get some prowess. All of our creatures will gain a +1 and trample. And then we go to attack steps. And we get the Firebending 2. Opponent, you have to discard your only card in hand. We'll drop off a land. I guess it should have been the starting town. We get a double card draw right there. And how about a double Heartless Act? We'll go ahead and get rid of that demon right there. Prowess pops off. Get to copy the Heartless Act. So get rid of your... construct dude, and prowess would pop off again, so Ty Lee would go up to a 5/3 with trample, and that's 5 times 5 is a 25 damage right there. Opponent's just a 4 life. They'd have just one creature that, again, is just staying tapped down forever. And yeah, just 2 Unholy Annexes. Wow, that was an insane game. Let's absolutely go. GG. All right, guys, we get to go first, which is really nice. And we have a great hand as well. Terminus of Return will help us ramp a little bit. Let's think about this. Double blue for this one. Let's see. You have a Swamp or Mountain. Blue. I think this one will have be black. Well, wait. Maybe red would have been better. Authority. So that kind of shuts down our Frostcliff Siege, which is just, you hate to see that, but we can at least get Azula down right now. And then next turn, if he plays a creature, we could go with a double Heartless Act. Could also flash in Enduring Curiosity, though. Let's hope he doesn't have a Sheltered by Ghosts. You gain 1 life. That's fine. All right, I think what I'm going to do, we need double blue for that. We have that. This one will enter tapped. We're just going to flash in 2. I guess I should have had this one come in tapped, because then we could have gone with the Heartless Act, gotten rid of both of those. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, opponent doesn't choose to block. We will flash this one in, so we get to create a token copy of it. This is all on the opponent's turn, so that is nice. And we'll be able to draw 2 cards right now. And had I spent 2 life to have this one come in untapped, we could have gone with a double Heartless Act. We still can? Oh, I guess because of the Terminus. Let's just go for a Strategic Betrayal right now. Have you sack 1 creature. The Tylee Chi blocker is pretty nice as well. Let's just hope he doesn't have a board wipe. But, I mean, even if he does, both these come back as enchantments. He goes with the Wind Crystal. Opponent's attacking in. That's honestly pretty wild. Blazemire. This one, we'll go ahead and give our creatures Trample and Haste and a extra +1. So these ones can go ahead and attack in. You know what? Let's just get Tylee down. Create a token copy of her. And yeah, here you guys will see that the legend rule does go into effect. So we have to choose one of them to keep. We'll keep the token copy. That's fine. Tap it down. Opponent will gain some life. But I mean, yeah, we're dealing 15 damage. So this is lethal on board for next turn. Get to draw just so many cards right now. Draw 6. You love to see it. And we still have 2 mana available, so we can go for a Heartless Act or a Floodpits Drowner. So we'll go ahead and end the turn. I think we can drop off a land. Definitely don't really need any more lands. And yeah, this creature just stays tapped down forever thanks to Tylee. He has a Minwoo, but is that the only creature you're playing? So, yeah, we could flash in Floodpits Drowner, which we'll go ahead and do. And yeah, this opponent just got absolutely stomped on. So we'll go ahead and tap this creature down. We'll go ahead and tap that creature down. Opponent technically could cast a 2 mana spell. Get Lost would do it. But we could go with another Enduring Curiosity. And then, I mean, we would have 4 Enduring Curiosities on the battlefield. Yeah, look, we could do it like this. We could attack in. We get Firebending 2, so 2, 4, 6. We'd have 8 mana available. We could go with Heartless Act. That would get doubled thanks to Azula, so we could remove both of these creatures right here. Even though this one's staying tapped down forever, basically, and this one's tapped down for 2 more turns. We could flash in another Enduring Curiosity, get 2 more of them on the battlefield, and then I draw, I don't even know how many cards, but yeah, it was also lethal on board, so GG. All right, guys, opponent gets to go first. That is unfortunate, but, I mean, I love this hand. We could flash this one in on turn 2, get the Frostcliff Siege on turn 3, and go into a hasty, tasty Firelord Azula. And we have all the colors we need, even drew the 4th land drop, so things are looking on the up and up. Even found the Enduring Curiosity that we could then flash in the turn after that, so I can dig it. Opponent's going to play a creature this turn. No discard. Oh, it has to be the bat. Of course, it has to be the bat. Well, what do you take? Strategic Betrayal. We will be able to get back whatever you take from us. So, yeah, you do take the Strategic Betrayal. That's fine. Does suck a little bit, but, I mean, it is what it is. We'll go with the Floodpits Drowner. We'll go ahead and tap down your bat, and then we'll get down Starting Town. Here comes the Frostcliff Siege. Creatures gain haste and trample, and a +1 to their attack, which is really nice. And let's just hope it is not a double discard. Nowhere to run. I'm fine with that. 2 mana. So, here comes Firelord Azula, and unfortunately, she only provides red mana for the firebending. Opponent could even just have a kill spell right now, which he does. All right, well, at least he's working through those. Only 3 cards in hand. Momo. No, don't attack the computer screen. Opponent's playing with Bloodletter. You know what? Let's go with... Oh, this comes in tap. No way. Starting Town. All right, well, we can do it like this. Nowhere to run. Get rid of your bat. And then Strategic Betrayal to have you get rid of the Bloodletter of Aquazots and your graveyard. Not sure you were utilizing that. Of course, you have another Bloodletter, but we'll actually be taking that creature from you. Thank you very much. Thanks to Azula, the Cunning Usurper. I mean, he doesn't have anything in the graveyard anymore, which is really unfortunate, but I mean, opponent is down to just 10 life. We can play the Bloodletter next turn and flash in this one, I believe. 6 plus the 2. Note, opponent, of course, has the sacrifice effect, but it's all good because we have Enduring Curiosity. Opponent, you will be taking some damage. Takes 5 damage. That's pretty crazy because we get to draw a card. And, I mean, yeah, you might have a kill spell, but we just have another one coming down next turn. Exile is really good, but you should have maybe given that one lifelink. The Demon Wall can get it done, but I mean, Kefka going to make you discard your last card. We'll go ahead and drop off a enchantment. Don't think... Oh, of course the opponent had an enchantment as well. Aye. But, yeah, opponent Kefka swinging through. You would block with the Demon Wall, so you lose that creature, and you are just in top deck mode. So, yeah, the Frostcliff Siege came in massively clutch, and... I don't think we got Firelord Azula down, but Azula the Cunning Usurper, I mean, he did kill it after a turn or not. But, I mean, yeah, really, really good game right there, GG. All right, guys, opponent goes first. I feel like the opponent's gone first a lot today, but I think we can make this hand work. I mean, we're up against another Dimir gamer that always feels sad for me. Just hope they're not just oops all counter spells. Is this a sacrifice deck? Whenever you sacrifice a creature, so it looks like it. So let's just go with Strategic Betrayal right now. I mean, we're kind of oops all removal, so I feel a little bit bad for the opponent. Hopefully we can keep hitting our land drops. Do hit the land drop, which is amazing. We have red, blue. This one can be black, I guess. One should have been blue because we had to take an extra point of damage from Starting Town. Creatures gain haste and trample. And there was no counterspell right there. I don't think he's playing too many. I think he is the weapons manufacturing deck where they try and create those munition tokens. They play the Rotten Mouth Viper. They could also be playing the Ghost Train. But yeah, they're just looking to sack a bunch of tiny things, get some value that way. So, opponent, what do you want to do? Opponent is thinking about it. He just goes to attack steps, 1 damage. That is fine by me. We do hit the land drop, which is amazing. Hopefully, if we find an untapped land next turn, we could get down Azula. For right now, we'll just keep open both of our kill spells. We can flash in, nowhere to run. to get rid of the Umbercaller Zealot. That creature, I personally think, is a little bit too good. For 2 mana, you get a 3/2, and just whenever you want, instant speed, as much as you want. It's not just once per turn. You can just sacrifice anything. Nah. Nah, we say no to that. For sure, that's a big nope from us. And... oh, we missed the land drop. I guess we'll go with a kicked Consult the Star Charts just to guarantee we find the land drop this turn, and we find Firelord Azula as well. You love to see that. So if the opponent does play out... yeah, see, it is weapons manufacturing. We kind of knew that already. The Legion Extruder. All right, well, we'll go with Azula. So then you sacrifice that one, and you give us the Umbercaller Zealot. But things are getting maybe a little bit scary. Things are getting a little bit scary, because if he does have the Rotten Mouth Viper, we might be in a little bit of trouble. And we still have 1 mana left over, so we can get this one down. It gains haste as well, so this is 7 damage. Firebending 2. Ooh, we could actually get down the Umbercaller Zealot as well. Unfortunately, it does have haste, but we're on our attack steps right now, so we will just end the turn. And opponent's down to 13. We can get Firelord Azula down next turn. And I think that will be GG. Opponent could create the Golem Tithing Blade. That's fine. We will go ahead and sacrifice the Slag Drill Scrapper. And I mean, that's your creature, so I don't mind. Do you have another... no, yeah, he's going to sacrifice the munitions token, probably blow up our Umbercaller Zealot, and create that, sacrifice another creature you control. It's a little bit unfortunate that it can't sacrifice itself. Then it would be really busted. Floodpits Drowner. So yeah, here comes Firelord Azula, and then I will flash this one in. We'll go ahead and tap this creature down, and then we'll attack with everyone, and that's 13 damage on the dot. We get Firebending 4, so... well, it's all just red mana, so we're actually not able to play any of these creatures, but, I mean, GG. That was a really clean game. All right, guys, we get to go first, and this is a really good hand. Multiversal Passage, I think on black. We have blue here, we'll have red here, so we'll have all our colors. On some Is It? Could be the Spellslinger deck. Ooh, the Room deck. That's really cool. That is really cool. So we have Nowhere to Run and Floodpits Drowner, both available to us. Can flash this one in to tap one of his creatures down, which doesn't look like he's doing. I still think we'll keep it, to be honest. Ooh, Frostcliff Siege with Firelord Azula. Let's absolutely go. Please just don't have a counter spell, my man. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell for 1 mana. I cannot believe it. Oh, well, now I really don't want to get down Azula, because I know for sure he is holding on to a counter spell. So if the opponent is going to do nothing, then we'll just pressure him a little bit with these Floodpits Drowners. And this is 4 damage that you will have to deal with. And if you want to just do stuff on my turn, then I will play on your turn. That is how it will go. Ill-timed Explosion. Drops off those 2. We'll go with a kicked Consult the Star Charts. Kefka's really nice, actually, and I wanted to take another land. I really meant to click on the other land, but that's my bad. Draw the land anyway, so here comes Kefka. You can go ahead and drop off a land. I don't think you're using your graveyard too much, so we'll get rid of a sorcery. And we draw 2 lands right there. And now if you have an ill-timed explosion, you need to drop off some pretty big cards, which you do have. These rooms are all 8 mana. Not all of them, but quite a few of them are. Let's see, for 2? Both these starting towns come in tapped, which is really unfortunate. It would be really nice. We'll go with a kick, Consult the Star Charts. And we can drop off Heartless Act. No creatures that the opponent is playing with. And again, making them discard is really nice. We get to draw 2. It's 2 pretty good lands right there as well. Big smack. And yeah, we have a kicked Consult the Star Charts. You may play it this turn, just a land. I guess you play that. So 5 mana to work with. You have no maximum hand size. That is pretty nice. I do really like the Steaming Sauna. Oh, I was really hoping to find... Ooh, Enduring Curiosity could be pretty nice for some extra card draw. 2-4. All right, yeah, I was going to say, I really hope to find a Frostcliff Siege. We can play Firelord Azula, have 2 mana left over. But then we can't do anything with it. I still think we go with Frostcliff Siege. Our creatures get +1 and trample. And I think we just get down... Nah, we'll flash in Enduring Curiosity. Opponent is for sure going to kill this creature. And then when we have some creatures to flash in, that will be really nice. Because we can flash in the Enduring Curiosity and then play Azula. And I think we got the opponent then. Also, all these discards from Kefka is coming in clutch. Smoky Lounge not going to help you out at all. You do get to create the Spirit token, but we'll be able to play a Nowhere to Run. So 2 mana to work with from the opponent. And, I mean, if it is a counter spell, then you are all tapped out, and Azula into a Nowhere to Run is enough to get it done. And I mean, our creatures have trample anyway. We'll get down a land, and here comes Firelord Azula. And then all these guys attack. 2, 4. We have 6 mana to work with. So we'll drop off a land for sure. This was a phenomenal game for us. Draw 2 lands right there. And then, yeah, here is a Nowhere to Run. We get to copy that one. So say goodbye to your Spirit token. -3. And a nice -3 right there. And then we can go for a super juicy kick to Consult the Star Charts. And we get to copy that. So... get to look 16 cards deep and draw 4. I think we'll take a Floodpits Drowner and I guess a Tylee. And then again, look 8 cards deep. Probably take another Firelord Azula and just another Firelord Azula. It's just Firelord Azula all up in the crib right now. And man, that was a that was a clean game from start to finish. Opponent maybe had us a little tiny bit with this 1 mana counter spell, kind of crazy. But after that, yeah, getting the Floodpits Drowners down, got both of them down to pressure him a little bit. And from then on, it was GG. All right, guys, opponent gets to go first. But I mean, 4 lands with a Consult and a Strategic Betrayal. I can dig it. Do we just remove this creature? I think we do. Let's go with the Strategic Betrayal. Guess I didn't have to flash in Watery Grave, or shock in Watery Grave. And the next turn, we can go with the Terminus of Return. Yeah. And then we still could go Consult the Star Charts. I don't think we have to do that, though. Could go for a kick, Consult the Star Charts on the opponent's turn then. Get down Starting Town. I think we do. I think that's what we do. Opponents with some Final Fantasy cards. Draw then discard. Ooh, Kefka's a really nice draw. And yeah, I think we'll go with a... Maybe we flash in the Enduring Curiosity, actually. Search your library for 2 basics. So again, Final Fantasy cards. So opponent's playing a Final Fantasy themed deck. It's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. Opponent has a ton of lands. How much is he up to? 2, 4, 6, 7 lands. 7 lands. You need 1 mana to tap that. So yeah, opponent, I'm gonna catch him off guard right now. And can go ahead and take that creature out. Ooh, the Frostcliff Siege is actually really nice. So I think we'll go with that one. And creatures gain +1 in haste. So we'll punch in for 5, and then next turn we'll get down Kefka. We get to draw a card. Ooh, it's an Azula as well. Exiles. Oh, no. You know what? Maybe we'll go with the consult the star charts. Could maybe find the other Azula. Firelord Azula. Town Greeter for some millage. Nothing too amazing in the graveyard. Draw 4 cards. Wow. So opponent with a full grip of cards in hand. Town Greeter. Pass. It's our turn. So yeah, let's go with a consult the star charts. Don't need to kick it. Man, didn't find a good hit at all. I guess we'll just take another consult the star charts, and we can get down Kefka. Opponent's going to drop off a land. That we know for sure, but I don't really want to drop off any of these creatures, so we'll also drop off a land. Oh, and there is Azula, which is really nice. Guess we'll discard Azula, the Cunning Usurper. Opponent drops off another land, so we get to draw 2. Opponent kind of is forced to block. Doesn't block. I guess we have Trample, yeah, thanks to the Frostcliff, so... Oh, and we get to draw 2 cards right there, so yeah, that was an amazing turn for us. We also basically got a full grip of cards right there, so we can end the turn. And then Azula can come down. We'll still have 3. We'll have 4 mana left over. Transforms that one. Opponent gets to draw. So he has 3 mana to work with. Has he played a land for turn? I don't think so. I don't think so. Could look to find a Ty Lee or another one of our flash creatures, because we will have 5 mana to work with. So yeah, we're going with a consult the star charts right now. Get to look 6 cards deep, and then we'll play an Azula for 4 mana. So then we'll still have 3 left over, plus this one is 4. So what creature can we find? Ooh, the Floodpits Drowner to double tap down his creatures. I think that's the winning play. And a Ty Lee as well. I don't think we quite have enough mana to do all that. So, oh wait, but Azula does get the firebending, so I think we actually will have enough mana to do all of that. So let's go ahead and go to attack steps. We get to add firebending 2. Kefka says go ahead and discard. We can drop off 1 Kefka. Opponent also has to discard probably a land, I would imagine. So yeah, I get to draw 2 cards right there, and it's another Floodpits Drowner. So Azula says go ahead and copy this spell. And I mean, even if these creatures did not have trample, yeah, we'd be able to tap 2 creatures down. So that is 2 of our guys getting through. Just from copying this 1 Floodpits Drowner, we're tapping these 2 down, so then he only has 1 blocker, and like I said, if these guys didn't have trample, that's still 10 damage getting through, but we still have 3 mana left over, so we could go with Ty Lee, the Chi blocker. She is legendary, which is unfortunate. So yeah, we'd have to choose one of them to keep, but as Ty Lee enters, we choose a creature, and it doesn't untap during its controller's untap phases, so... Well, I guess it still could technically block then. So yeah, I guess we could just go with another Floodpits Drowner and copy it with Azula. So yeah, that was a really, really clean game. Opponent, yeah, with the Final Fantasy themed deck. Of course, it's not the most competitive deck, but I mean, man, our deck came together so nicely there. GG. Hey there, neighbor, and welcome to the post-game wrap. Today, we looked at a deck that I named Azula Always Lies, because Azula, the Fire Lord, or Azula, the Cunning Usurper, they always lie. But They are really, really fun cards to play with from the new Avatar set. This Firelord Azula, I think, is a lot better than this one. For 4 mana, whenever you attack, you get to Firebend 2, and then you get to copy just any spell when Firelord Azula is attacking. So you guys saw from a lot of the gameplay, we play with a lot of instant speed and flash creatures as well, because then you get to double the creatures that you flash in. The best combo is, of course, with Enduring Curiosity. You get 2 of those. If the opponent doesn't have any blockers and Azula gets through for some damage, then you draw 2 cards. If you have the, ultra Christmas Disneyland scenario where you got Frostcliff Siege down and Azula has an additional +1 and trample, and then you get these guys down as well, it's just so nice. It's so much value, and it works really, really well. I've really enjoyed Ty Lee Chi blocker. It is unfortunate that she is legendary, but yeah, being able to keep a creature tapped down forever for as long as Ty Lee is on the battlefield is really, really good. Tishana's Tidebinder, that one I don't think, maybe it came into play one game, but I'm not sure I had Azula attacking. I can't remember, but Tishana's Tidebinder, I'm a little bit iffy on that one. And then basically all of these not 1 mana spells, they're all 2 mana spells. Consult the star charts. If it's really late in the game and you're able to kick it, I think once I was able to kick it for 8, and that was while Azula was attacking. So then we got to look 8 cards deep, choose 2 of them, shuffle, and then we copied that spell as well. It copies the kicker version as well. So then again, we were able to look 8 cards deep, choose 2 of them. Floodpits Drowner, when you flash this one in while Azula is attacking, then you get 2 2/1 bodies on the battlefield, and you can tap either 2 creatures down or maybe a really big creature the opponent has. You can put 2 stun counters on it. Love that one. Heartless Act, premium removal spell right now in Standard. The card art is absolutely brutal as well. If you guys know, then you know. Nowhere to Run, also a really good one. You can remove 2 smaller creatures if their toughness is 3, 2, or 1. If their toughness is greater than 3 and you flash it in while Azula is attacking, you still get 2 of them, so then you can remove at least 1 big creature if their toughness is at least less than 7. Strategic Betrayal, just for a little bit of graveyard hate. Unfortunately, this one is only sorcery speed, so if you guys wanted to go all in on the Azula combo, I actually think that could work. So then you might want to go with, instead of Strategic Betrayal, you might want like a Bitter Triumph or a Shoot the Sheriff, just some more removal spells that you can double up on. The Terminus of Return, a little nice bit of ramp as well. The Frostcliff Siege, I absolutely love this card. I've actually played this card in combination with Kefka before, who is another kind of combo piece in this deck as well. He works really, really well when he enters opponent's discard. We also have to discard, and then we get to draw 1 card if we both discard a land or if we both discard a creature, but we get to draw 2 cards if the opponent drops off a land and we drop off something different, or if the opponent drops off a creature and we drop off something other than a creature card, then we get a double card draw, which is really nice. And again, if Kefka, whenever he attacks, that same text or ruling applies as well. So if you combo that with the Frostcliff Siege, that is really, really nice. We're also playing with Azula, the Cunning Usurper, and this one, she was fun. She is a little bit expensive. 5 mana definitely is on the more expensive side for Standard nowadays as well. You guys could even argue that 4 mana is on the expensive side, but Azula, Cunning Usurper, the opponents sack a non-token creature, and they get rid of 1 card in their graveyard, and for as long as we control Azula, Cunning Usurper, we can play those cards. And we can use any colored mana to play them. That, it's not the best effect, and I kind of wish it was like Firelord Azula and Kefka. I wish it was every time you attacked, the opponents would have to sack something and remove something from their graveyard. That might be too good, I do realize that, but just as she is right now, 5 mana for a 4/4 where they just get rid of 1 creature and 1 thing from their graveyard. And if they remove Azula, then you can't play those things anymore. So she did feel a little bit on the weaker side. And there were a few games that I did end up losing because the opponents had a really, really wide board state. And then I was kind of wishing I had a mass board wipe. So you could think of a Deadly Cover-Up or the Villainous Wrath from the Spider-Man set. Just destroy all creatures on the board. Sometimes that is needed because if you are a little bit on the back foot and you aren't able to get some of your, bigger creatures down, or, I mean, even if you have a Floodpits Drowner and the opponent has, an Ouroboros, Badgermole, and something else, Yeah, you wouldn't mind pulling the trigger on a mass board wipe just to clean the board up. So I could see if you wanted to make this deck a little bit more competitive, maybe cutting the 2 copies of Azula and going up 2 copies of a mass board wipe. Honestly, maybe cut 1 copy of Tishana's Tidebinder. I know it's the only one in our deck, and maybe go up another copy of the Frostcliff Siege. And you guys could play around with Tylee as well. But overall, this was a really, really fun Grixis deck to play with. Firelord Azula, premium card right there. Absolutely loved it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the games that you saw as well. If you made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing. That does help me out a lot. Go ahead and leave a like and a comment down below of any cards you'd like to see me play in the future. And I'm just going to end it like I always end it. I love you guys. Peace out.